Hey, 12 everybody. And amid record-breaking homelessness, the migrant crisis, and President-elect Donald Trump's mention of mass deportation, a coalition is now formed.
And today, this coalition is announcing a counterattack against all of these policies. Christine Quinn, President and CEO of Win Coalition for the Homeless, is here to join us with more insight. Well, thanks for taking the time to speak with us, Christine. Great to see you.
Good to see both of you. Thank you.
All right, so you work for Win. It's the largest provider for shelter and supportive services for homeless families with children in New York. Can you allow our viewers to get a little bit more familiar about what services are available that you provide?
Sure. You know, most people don't know that 70% of the people in shelter right now, and it's at an all-time high, are families with children. So really the face of homelessness that we don't know is a working mom and a 5-year-old child. At Win, we have 16 shelters throughout the city, 5 permanent housing buildings, and 200 apartments that are permanent housing. And we are concerned that under what's called Project 2025, which is the Trump administration's playbook for the first 180 days of the president-elect's term, there really are a long list of attacks on services for homeless people, for housing for low-income people, early childhood education, which is central for our families and our children, and also on immigrants throughout this country. And our release today, which we are countering Project 2025 with Project Hope, is a list of things, actions the city and state can take if the federal government moves forward with any of the proposals in Project 2025. So, for example, the President Trump, in his first term, and it's restated now, tried to eliminate Section 8 vouchers. Yeah. They are a powerful tool to help homeless people get out of shelter and stay in permanent housing. If they do that, the city is not without recourse. The city should then allocate more money for vouchers the city has to keep people out of shelter. Yeah, now, people listening may say, well, does the city have money to do that? If they don't do that and people lose their Section 8 vouchers, they'll end up in shelter, and that costs 3 to 4 times more than adding in vouchers. Okay. So our point today is, yes, a specific list of actions, but also to send the message to city and state government that New Yorkers know that, yes, fight the federal government, but if we don't win, you have recourse. You cannot let New Yorkers fall through the cracks if things like housing vouchers and food stamps are cut or, God forbid, eliminated.
Okay, so what has the conversation been? I know you're always in talks with people, with the mayor's office or the governor's office about this. Have they kind of looked at what you're proposing and said, okay, we'll back you on this? Or have the conversations?
We're sending the report and the call for action out to the governor, the mayor, all the elected officials, but resoundingly, what I've heard is, oh, that's great, you're doing that. We want to take a look at that. Yes, we've been thinking about doing the same kind of a thing. So I think there's a real potential here for partnership. Is everybody going to agree with every call to action? No, never happens. We're New Yorkers. We can't agree that much. But what I do know is there's a hunger from the elected officials to have a plan moving forward, because people are concerned about what's going to happen to Head Start, what's going to happen to young children who need those early childhood education programs that the federal government is saying they might eliminate.
Yeah, are you collaborating with some organizations here in the city and other individuals that are going to be a part of Project Hope?
Absolutely. Today at our launch press conference, we're going to have the Coalition for the Homeless, the New York Legal Assistance Group, Legal Aid, the New York Immigration Coalition. We're going to hear from New Yorkers who have been homeless and unhoused. We have the Episcopal Archdiocese signing on to the report. It's a growing list of advocates, religious groups, and labor unions who are supporting Project Hope.
So it's a great at face value, but it's a 180-day plan, right? So what happened? It's 365 days in a year. So what happens after 180 days?
Well, 180 days is the time frame that the Heritage Foundation, the authors of Project 2025, put out. So we're trying to match that plan. But you can rest assured that that won't be the end of the Trump administration's attempt to hurt New Yorkers and take away benefits. So the fight will continue, but this is a very focused beginning.
Okay, Christina, it's 2025. I got to ask you. I asked you many times in 2024, but I'll ask you again in 2025. Do you want to run for another office? I mean, you're very outspoken. You do a lot of work. You've always expressed that you wanted to potentially go higher in office. Is it on the table?
Look, I love being an elected official. It was really like the greatest honor and the job where I had, honest to God, the most fun. I'd love to have another office someday. Will that happen? I don't know. Today, I'm really focused on protecting New York's children and New York's homeless.
Okay, not a no. Not a no. Great stuff. Come on back. Let us know what the conversations go forth as they happen, okay?
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much.